Hi, my name is Alan Abaz. I am going to talk a little bit about this prayer book called Tehillat Hashem. It's a Siddur according to this, Arizal, and I'm going to read along with you. By the way, I got this book from Hallandale, Florida, from the congregation Levi Yitzchak a few years back. So I am going to, by the way, this is my mother's brother's dates of birth, years they were born. You could see up on top. My grandfather, Abe Franco, and my grandmother, Rachel Meneged, born approximately 1900. And Ezra Mazal, I assume, were the great-grandparents, Eliyahu and Layla, also. Abe Franco, born 1895. Uncle Lou, Aunt Lil, still alive. Just celebrated her 95th birthday. Uncle Al passed away. Uncle Alf passed away. Very nice uncle. Uncle Joe, loved him. Uncle Jack still alive. Uncle Ray still alive. Uncle Matt. And my mother Molly, who are twins, born in 1933. Aunt Ruth passed away a couple years ago, and Uncle Seymour, a while back, he passed away. So, anyway, so I'm just going to go. This is the copyright page, but I don't want to get into that now. This is the table of contents. I'm just going to read with you a little bit here the translator's introduction. There are several, excuse me, I'm going to try to widen this. There are several various forms of the Nusach. It's hard for me to get you to read that, so what I'm going to do is just read it to you. There are several variant forms of the Nusach HaTefillah. Nusach meaning basically style. So Tefillah is prayers. So there are several variant forms of the Nusach HaTefillah prescribed order in text of the prayers. The most widely followed are the Nusach Ashkenaz, Nusach Sepharad, the Polisha Nusach, Nusach Teman, and Nusach Ari. And the basic form and text of the prayers having been formulated and ordained by the Anshe Knesset HaGadolah, men of the Great Assembly, and the sages of the Mishnah and Talmud, is common to them all. In this there is no disparity of divergence among them. They vary only in detail, such as the order of some prayers, small differences in textual phraseology, and the omission or inclusion of some petulium liturgical hymns. According to the Kabbalah, there are, in fact, 12 nusachot, 12 styles, one for each tribe of Israel, in accordance with the unique and distinct spiritual quality of each. Similarly, there are in heaven 12 gates corresponding to the 12 tribes. 12 tribes are the 12 sons of Jacob. The prayers of each teaches the Kabbalah can ascend to heaven only through its particular gate and by means of its specific nusach style. So too, the Zohar states the 12 gates in the temple court corresponded to the 12 tribes. Upon each gate was inscribed the name of one tribe. If a member of a particular tribe wished to enter the temple court through the gate of his tribe, he was able to do so. If, however, he attempted to go through a gate other than his own, the door closed upon him and he could not pass through. Since the prayers of the members of each tribe can ascend and enter the heavenly gate only through its own nusach style, what of one who does not know to which tribe he belongs? Which nusach should he pray? How will his prayers ascend? Rabbi Dov Ber, the Maggid of Mezrich, explains on the basis of the Talmudic Kabbalistic sources that there is indeed a 13th gate, a Shar HaKolel, a general all-inclusive gate for all Jews, no matter to which tribe they belong. There was such a gate in the Beit HaMikdash through which a member of any tribe could enter. There is a corresponding 13th gate in heaven, and there is also a 13th Nusach through which the prayer of any Jew can ascend. This 13th Nusach, the Sha'ar HaKolel, states the Maggid, is the Nusach Ha'ari, which Rabbi Isaac Luria, the Arizal, composed, comprising all the various other Nusachot, but based primarily on the Sephardic version. One might ask, writes the Maggid, why are there 13 gates and 13 distinct Nusachot when the 13th itself comprises the other 12? Would not the 13th alone suffice? He answers that when the identity of each tribe as well as its Nusach was known, it was certainly preferable for one to enter by way of his own gate and to pray in his own Nusach. However, at this time when it is not known to which tribe one belongs, everyone, including the Kohanim and Levi'im, who are of the tribe of Levi, should follow the Sha'ar HaKolel, which is the Nusach Ha'ari, the all-encompassing gate appropriate for everyone, through which everyone's prayer can ascend. Although the Arizal established and delineated the Nusach that bears his name, he himself did not publish a Siddur, but transmitted it orally to his disciples, together with his interpretations and kavanot of the prayers according to the Kabbalah. In subsequent generations, Siddurim were published bearing the name Nusach Ha'ari and including the Lurianic kavanot of prayer. These Siddurim were not consistent in their liturgical text. Some were even closer to Nusach Ashkenaz. Hence, they did not serve as the definitive Nusach HaTefillah, but rather as a means to present the teachings and kavanot of the Arizal on the prayer. Furthermore, these Siddurim were prepared solely for the benefit of Kabbalistic scholars, not as a prayer book for the layman. In some liturgy, it was printed unvocalized so that they would not be readily accessible to the uninitiated. Thus, there was still no authoritative Nusach Ha'ari Siddur which the masses could use in prayer. In 1803, Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi published a prayer book arranged according to Nusach Ha'ari. Unlike the Nusach Ha'ari Siddurim printed heretofore, this Siddur was intended to be used as a prayer book, suitable for all, even for the erudite, in the wisdom of the Kabbalah, and not as a presentation and exposition of mystical kavanot. For this reason, Rabbi Shneur Zalman printed only the actual text of the prayers in his Siddur, omitting the kavanot. The liturgy, however, conformed in every detail and reflected the intentions of Lurianic Kabbalah. Rabbi Shneur Zalman was also careful to meticulously follow the Talmudic and halakhic rulings concerning the prayers. In the previously printed Siddurim of all the Nusachot, numerous errors crept into the text. Rabbi Shneur Zalman subjected every word of the Siddur to careful scrutiny and amending the textual errors and make it linguistically faultless, adhering scrupulously to the rules of the Hebrew grammar and syntax, which was for him also of paramount importance. He said to have studied, researched, and critically examined 60 different versions of prayer books in order to ascertain the correct version of the liturgical text, which would conform both to halakha and Kabbalah. To render the Siddur still more valuable for general use, Rabbi Shneur Zalman included instructions and laws pertaining to the prayers and to the rituals accompanying them. Occasionally, some of these laws are at variance with those set down in the Shulchan Aruch Code of Law, In such cases, one is to follow the ruling of the Siddur, inasmuch as the Siddur was composed after the Shulchan Aruch and reflects his final halakhic decisions. The new Siddur was enthusiastically received and was reprinted 3 times within 10 years of its initial publication. In 1816, 3 years after the demise of the Alter Rebbe, his son and successor, in 1816, 3 years after the demise of the Alter Rebbe, his son and successor, Rabbi Dov Ber of Lubavitch, published a new edition of his father's Siddur together with Hasidic discourses, Ma'arim, expounding and elucidating various aspects of the prayer. Rabbi Avraham David Lavut, a renowned Torah scholar and author of the late 19th century, issued an edition of the Rav's Siddur, calling it Torah Or. Rabbi Lavut included a number of prayers, such as the Selichot and the Torah readings, which heretofore not printed in the Rav's Siddur. In the margin, he noted the sources of the scriptural verses and prayers and corrected all typographical errors of the previous editions. The most noteworthy feature of the Siddur, however, was the supplement called Sha'ar HaKolel, which is an important scholarly work in its own right, and in the Sha'ar HaKolel he sets forth the sources in the Talmud and Zohar, Halakha, and Kabbalah of Rabbi Shneur Zalman's textual variations and halakhic decisions in the Siddur Nusach HaAri. A number of other editions of the Rav's Siddur were published afterwards. One of those, the Siddur Tehillat Hashem, was published in 1918 to 1920 in Rostov, Russia, at his behest of Rabbi Shalom Dov Ber of Lubavitch, the 5th Lubavitcher Rebbe. In 1945, an enlarged complete edition of the Siddur Tehillat Hashem was published in Brooklyn, New York. One of the characteristics of the Siddur is that it contains, besides the laws and customs pertaining to the prayers which Rabbi Shneur Zalman wrote specifically for the Siddur, additional laws and customs called from the Rav's Shulchan Aruch. Another feature of the Siddur is that each prayer is printed in its entirety, eliminating the necessity to turn to other parts of the Siddur for recurring passages. This Siddur has been reissued numerous times in the United States and Eretz Yisrael and forms the basis of the present edition. It's more than 30 printings, which attest to its wide popularity, include a complete edition with prayers for the entire year, an edition for the weekdays and Shabbat only, a student's linear edition, and pocket edition with the Book of Tehillim, Psalms, and supplements. I'm going to stop right there, even though there's a few more pages to discuss. But I thank you for watching and listening, and please pass this along to your fellow Jews. Share it with others. Thank you.